Dining with the dictator. These are some of Kim Jong-un's favorite foods. North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un really loves to eat, while most of his country suffers from extreme poverty and hunger. This luxury-loving leader gorges on the finest imported foods he can find. He's always been a little chubby. But recently released photographs show that Jong-un's weight has ballooned to epic proportions. The despot loves to show off his wealth by throwing lavish parties overflowing with all the best food and alcohol, and win $5 billion at his disposal. He certainly has the funds to do it. These shocking new photos make it clear he's been helping himself to seconds and thirds. The dictator's weight is becoming a huge problem. The issue with his gluttony is more serious than just finding tailors to let out the seams of his designer's suits. Sources close to the dictator have real concerns about his health, especially following an incident in 2012 when he developed a cyst in his ankle from carrying so much excess weight. And besides overeating, he is often photographed with a cigarette dangling from his lips, a habit that everyone knows is unhealthy. Not many people know about the dictator's secret eating habits. Details about life inside the hermit kingdom of Kim Jong-un are few and far between, but even with this attempt at shrouding the dictator's daily routine, a few tidbits about what he likes to eat and drink have gone public by a Business Insider. The little we do know proves that he has champagne tastes to match his extraordinary budget. A former staff chief reveals one of Kim's most beloved Japanese dishes. Kim loves to stuff himself with sushi. Kenji Fujimoto served as Kim Jong-un's father's personal chef for 13 years. In his memoir, Fujimoto recalled that younger Kim had a taste for sushi from a tender age. He told the Daily Mail, "I used to make sushi for the General Jong too, at least once a week, and Jong-un always joined the dinner. So I could say Jong-un liked sushi." While sushi isn't a natural high-calorie food, anything consumed in excess will lead to excessive weight gain. He is constantly popping bottles of crystal. The dictator also has a taste for champagne, and as expected, he only buys the finest options. In his interview, Fujimoto mentions the free-flowing crystal, which Jong-un would consume to excess. He recalls the dictator often downing 2 full bottles of crystal in a single setting. When it comes to liquor, he'll only sip the best. Domestically made liquor just isn't good enough for Kim. Sources say he spends an average of $30 million per year on importing liquor to share with his inner circle. Naturally, he prefers the most expensive brands and drops upward of $2,000 on a single bottle of Hennessy. He spends millions importing foreign delicacies: pork from Denmark, caviar from Iran, melon from China, Cuba, beef, etc. The controversial dictator never settles for second best when it comes to dining. No one besides the man himself knows exactly how much he spends on bringing the finest cuisine into the country, but sources estimate the figure is in the millions. Kim once ate so much cheese he had to go into hiding. Kim Jong-un's obsession with cheese is legendary. According to London's UK Metro, Kim had to step back from the public eye for a brief period after consuming too much Emmental cheese imported from Sweden. This was after he sent members of his staff to a 7-month cheese-making course at the National Dairy Industry College in France. The dictator's favorite kind of meat comes from Japan. Only the best will do for Kim, which is why he feasts on Kobe beef at every available opportunity. Kobe is the world's most rare and prized type of meat. It comes from the Japanese cattle breed Wagyu, which is often imitated but never duplicated. He relies on snake wine for better times and the bedroom. If the rumors are true, then snake wine, which comes with a dead cobra in the bottle, helps to improve virility. The UK Metro reported that Jong-un was seen chugging this potent stuff to get a little help conceiving a second child with his wife Ri Joy-soo. The dictator prefers Bordeaux. Kim once boasted that he drank 10 bottles of Bordeaux at a single meal. If that's true, he consumed approximately 6,000 calories in wine alone. Yikes! A huge portion of his budget went to Brazilian coffee. The Daily Mirror reports that Kim spent a whopping 715 pounds or $941,812 on fine Brazilian coffee in a single year. That's a lot of cash to spend on a few cups of joe, especially considering that North Korea's capital, Pyongyang, is one of the few places you can find Starbucks. He is probably getting fat on purpose. In South Korea and many Western countries, being thin is preferably and obesity is more common for low-income individuals. But in North Korea, the opposite is true. A portly stature is a symbol of great wealth because only people who can afford food are able to maintain a high body mass index. So some speculate that Kim's weight gain is fully intentional, a way for him to show off how much food he is able to access. Kim Jong-un may be living large, but his people are starving. One report found that 75.1% of the country's population, or 25.1 million people, is classified as food insecure, and chronic malnutrition is rampant. North Korea scored 28.6 on the Global Hunger Index, indicating that the country is in serious trouble. A love for food runs in the family. Kim Jong-un's late father and former North Korean dictator Kim Jong-II, Kim Jong-il, was a huge fan of strange foods such as shark fin soup and dog meat soup, which he ate to promote immunity and virility. Like his son, he was also a huge customer of Hennessy. At least, he is not as picky about his rice though. Kim Jong-un eats a fair amount of rice, but he might be a little less picky about it than his dad was. The former supreme leader of North Korea supposedly had a team of women in charge of making sure every grain of rice was the same size, shape, and color.